Folks, okay, welcome to my high-tech solder station here on my kitchen table. Yeah, we've got all the necessary equipment. An exhaust fan, my soldering iron, solder sucker, solder cleaner, solder and solder flux, two 4900 flybacks, and a whole bunch of caps here that I should be able to scrounge through to get everything I need. I pulled this out of my bag of parts, but here is the chassis. I've got all this sitting on an arcade cocktail cabinet glass. It's just an extra glass we had that's all scratched up and good for protecting the table from what I'm going to be doing, which is sitting here for a while, changing out all these little capacitors. Every single one of these that you see, I'll be switching them out. Here's some on this 4900. He's over here, yeah. And also changing out this this transformer. Here's a new one. So, there we go. There's a new one. The reproductions, as you all can probably guess, they come from China. And they are not known for being reliable over time, and it's hard to find good ones. I've never had any issues, but that's what I've read, that people have trouble getting good ones. So if need be, I actually have one, an old one, that I pulled off a previous 4900. And it was good. It's dirty. I need to clean it, but this was a good flyback. So I may actually just put this one on there just because it's old. It was not failing, and I may go with this one. I don't know yet. Just have to wait and see. But I do have two of these. But yeah, I was able to pull all the parts needed to rebuild this thing. It's going to take a while, but the results should be worth it. Fingers crossed, and I'm going to get to it here in just a bit. All right, the chassis is recapped, and I put a flyback on it. It's not a new flyback. It is the used one I have, but I feel like for this application, it's just better. I know it's good, and I think it'll serve the purpose that we need it to serve. But if you see here, all these capacitors have little dots on them. That's pen marks. It's me marking the ones that I have switched out. Did not switch out this big one here. That's called the filter cap. Those rarely go bad, so there's just really no reason to do it. But all the capacitors through here, I did them all. All right. So let's go ahead and get this thing reinstalled onto the frame. And then we'll try plugging it in. One thing at a time, though. So first things first. Just kind of reverse order of operations here. These things can be so intimidating if you're not accustomed to them, but you get used to it, and it's just, it's like anything, it just isn't that big a deal. All right. So, degauze first. That would be right here. Now, let's see, okay. Now we're going to go with this here. This is where pictures come in handy unless you've done it enough times where you know what goes where. Come on now. This is the yoke I'm plugging in. Trying to. There we go. There's one. And then two. And I could have done a video showing you all the recap. Boring. They're out there. If y'all want to see a monitor chassis getting recapped, go look them up. It's boring. All right, let's go ahead and do the anode cup here. Remember, this monitor is discharged, so we don't need to worry about getting shocked. It's always a little nerve-wracking, though. Okay, so here is the anode cup. There's a little opening on the top of the monitor. where you just kind of pinch this in, little tongs, and it will stay in place if I can get it here. Oh, come on. Here we go. I think that's it. Okay, that's it. Let's see. This here, coming off the flyback, goes to the neck board right there, and then this goes here. Now I am not going to reinstall this monitor back into the cabinet. We're going to test it on the ground. It'll be hooked up to the cabinet, it just won't be inserted into the cabinet because I'm tired. I don't want to do that. And this is enough for today. Hopefully this is all good. This is always the test, the test of success, and always makes me nervous. We'll get to that here in just a bit. All right, and then there is this here. This is a ground wire. Goes right here. In fact, what I might do with this is put some shrink wrap on this so that, well, no, here, I can twist it for now. In case I need to take this chassis off again. That's temporary. I don't know if you can see that. I just twisted this ground wire together, the two ends, where I had to cut it to get it out. That's just in case I have to remove this thing again. So that's temporary. I can go back and put in shrink wrap, heat shrink wrap on it if need be. But right now we're good. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and connect my RGB video and sync. That's all reflowed, by the way. Reflowing solder means I heated up the solder that was on there, added a little more to give it a good connection, to make sure there are no cold solders, broken solder joints that might provide intermittent video or lousy color or something like that. You just do all those basic things, just basic maintenance for these monitors, and you do it to rule out any issues if they come up. You know, hey, it's not a broken solder joint because I reflowed all the solder. So, all right, let's get this thing bolted back in. All right, so all we have left then is to hook our RGB back up to this end. This is what I pulled out when I originally took the monitor out. I know what goes where. And of course, our AC voltage. We'll do that here in just a bit. Okay, I've got everything hooked back up. Got chassis in, AC power going in, video sync, red, green, blue, all hooked up, moment of truth. I didn't hear any HV coming on the monitor. Let's see if it does anything. That's not a good sign. Wah, wah, wah. Not sure what's going on. I'll have to get back to y'all. Make sure. Oh, there we go. Okay, the sync's off, but that was the pot, the potentiometer on the flyback. It was turned down. So brightness. But my sync is off. Oh, that might actually be a horizontal adjustment. Let's see. Hold on. Let's do the focus a little bit here. Make sure I don't hurt myself. Okay, that looks a lot better. We got something going on with a hold issue. That's kind of weird. I need to make sure that this is a hold issue on the chassis and not a sync issue at the connector. I don't think it's at the connector. Let's see. Yeah, that's just scrolling. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Where is pot for this? Is it horizontal hold? It should be vertical hold, right? Oh, yeah, right here. Size hold. What this is? No? Well, kind of. Well, anyway, I'm going to mess with this some, but the good news is that if we had any of the capacitors backwards or anything like that, I think we wouldn't even be getting this. So this is an adjustment issue. So what I'm going to do is work on this, and we'll show you all once I get this thing dialed in. There we have it, folks. All right, it was just a little bit of user error. I just had the sync and video wires backwards. Got it worked out. That is a recapped monitor. You can see the discoloration that was on the left side. That's good now. It's all even and consistent. Still needs a little bit of fine tuning. Just in focus, maybe contrast. But that's easy. That's stuff I can do. I am happy with that. That is the original monitor to the game, at least the one that came with it. When I got it, it very well may be original to the game. And that's that. Recapped everything. So I am very, very happy with that. I do a little walk around here. Here's the monitor. Here it is. All hooked up over here. I'll do something permanent with all that here in a second with it and get rid of these alligator clips. Yeah. That looks good. That looks darn good. Very happy with that. Nice. No bleeding. Nice, fresh new caps. Nice picture. Very good. Very good indeed. All right, adjusting the color pots, focus, brightness, a little bit of vertical dampening, and the contrast pots. I think I've got this thing pretty well dialed in. I'm happy with that. I might want to do a little bit more to it. Maybe some more fine tweaking once it's darker, because I'm outside and you know, it's in the evening, but I still do have some sunlight, and that can, you know, it might be that when it's really dark that this is way too bright, but we're talking about very minor adjustments here. But I mean, this turned out really well to recap a monitor and for it to solve the problems that you had with it. We had the bleeding, we had the one side of the monitor was dark, the other side was bright, so there was not brightness consistency across the screen. Took care of all that, along with switching out the flyback. So that's it. Real happy with that. Now all that's left is to get it back into the machine, get everything scrubbed down, cleaned up, and that's it. This thing will be done. That's all the big stuff. So, wow, this refurb went a lot faster than I anticipated. I better be quiet, though, because I'm not done yet. So there's still a good bit to do. But, yeah, that turned out really well. Very happy with that.